Hello, friends. I hope you all are doing good. So, last time we discussed about how to install Python using Homebrew. So, this time we are discussing all about virtual environment. So, basically, what I'm going to say in the next couple of minutes, it's very important for professional working environment setup. So, please listen it carefully. So let's say in your professional, you are doing a freelancing, for example, and you have multiple clients, and some of them have their application built in Python previous version, like, let's say Python 3.9, and some are having Python 3.10. So they can't move their version up because they are tied to that specific version. So how would you work into single machine using different Python version, and how will you manage those environment so that there is no conflict with any of your project and you don't have to set up your environment again and again. Okay, so for that we have something called virtual environment. So it is nothing, basically within your system you can make a virtual environment and install specific libraries which is used in that particular project. So for example, if you are using pandas and you're using Python 3.9 and you're using request for calling API, you can install that into project 1 virtual environment, and then you have a project 2 which use NumPy and which use Python 3.11. Then you can install those libraries into project 2 Python virtual environment. Okay, so there are multiple ways to create virtual environment. I'm going to make videos for all of them, but today what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about the inbuilt version which Python provides. So after I don't exactly remember the version, but after some version, maybe 3 point something, they have started giving inbuilt virtual environment, and it's very easy to set up. So I'll just show you. So this is my just random program. So let's say if I have to uh, create a virtual environment here, so all I need to do is Python minus m v and then I can give the name of the virtual environment. It could be anything. You can name it, you know, X, Y, Z, name doesn't matter. So I'm gonna do my env. Okay. The moment I hit enter, it's gonna create a new environment, virtual environment, which will have your bin folder where you have some activate or deactivate file where you can activate the virtual environment, and then you have include, which will having this 3.3 because my system has the Python 3.31 version, and then you have libraries where you have important site packages, which is like pip is installed by default and this info. Okay, so you can create a virtual environment with any version, right? So if you have, let's say, Python 3.11, okay, and what you can do is you can just do, I'm not going to run it, but I'm going to tell you the command Python this version, sorry, 3.11 minus m vnv, and then again you can give this time maybe xyz. Okay, and that will create your virtual environment with that 3.11 Python. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we need to just make sure that the way of creating a virtual environment and activating is different on Windows. So we are currently talking about Mac machine. So to activate this work area so that we can start executing our program within that work area, we need to activate this work area. So the command is simple: source my env slash bin slash activate, and you could see my work area is activated, which means, so if for example this demo.py will be using anything related to request or pandas, then I need to have that package installed in my virtual environment. So currently there is no uh, package installed. So let's do some uh, you know try to let me try to tell you first how can we deactivate as well. So this is the command to deactivate. Okay, I'm going to activate it again just to show you that what we can do. And now simply you can check um, with the command Python version. So let's say if you have created a virtual environment with a different Python, you can see your this virtual environment is created with a different uh, Python. Okay, and now let's say if I have to install a library called request, which is used to call API, and you would see that I would be able to install it using pip, and you will automatically see that request is installed. Earlier there was only a couple of packages, and these many packages come because request would be using these certain packages as a further dependency. So that is why the side packages have multiple packages. Okay, now you can ready to use start request library. So just in case you want to see what packages is installed in your machine in your virtual environment, so the command is pip list. Basically you can check what are the packages installed in your virtual environment. And once you're done with your project and you want to put it into source control, you definitely want to put all your installed libraries into requirement.txt, so that anyone who clones this repository should be able to install the same packages using pip, and then they would be able to execute your code. So for that you can just do pip freeze and requirement.txt, just simple, and see you have all the libraries mentioned in this. So once someone will clone your repository, you should be able to see that they should be able to see all these libraries are dependency which is required to execute your code, and they can download and then they can run. I think that is for Python inbuilt. Then we have virtual wrapper. Then we have multiple other tools like Poetry and UVs, I think is the latest one, which is quite getting the hype which it deserves. And I think we will discuss about that in the further videos. For now, thank you very much.